unfortunately. Today is Wednesday, August 30th, 2017. If you want to follow us on Twitter, please go to CATEX TV. Well, Harvey is becoming the storm that simply won't go away. It's now made its third landfall along the U.S. Gulf Coast, this time coming ashore in Louisiana, near Cameron, Louisiana, about 20 miles east of the border with Texas. The storm is not even a tropical storm, but it's expected to bring a significant amount of rain to the area. New Orleans is already under a flash flood alert. In Port Arthur, Texas, in the eastern part of Texas, 25 inches of rain was received in 24 hours. Beaumont, Texas, also in the eastern part of the state, and an oil industry center is being hit by torrential rain as we speak. More than 50 inches of rain has fallen in Houston now over the past 4 days. It's less of a city and more of an archipelago with a chain of urbanized islands and a muddy brown sea. About 4.5 million people in Houston live in Harris County, which is the county that includes Houston, and about 30% of that county is now flooded, as of estimates by late yesterday afternoon. Devastation from the storm continues to grow. The economic devastation is apparently going to rank it in terms of total economic costs only to Hurricane Katrina, which essentially destroyed New Orleans. The cost inflicted by Harvey might be as much as $75 billion. Most homeowners don't carry flood insurance. About 20% of the people in the Houston area have flood insurance from the NFIP. So as a result, many of the people who are not covered are going to be lining up for federal grants and disaster aid. Meanwhile, damaged roads and bridges have to be repaired. Other areas are going to have to be completely rebuilt. The insured estimates, some modeling companies are indicating, may not exceed $10 billion. J.P. Morgan is saying that the insured losses may in fact reach $20 billion. But that's a far cry from the $75 billion in economic damage that has been sustained by Texas. Once again, we talk about coverage gaps in the developing world, and they're right here under our noses. Meanwhile, the financial capital of India, Mumbai, remains paralyzed after torrential monsoon rains have belted the city for a second day in a row, turning streets into rivers. Mumbai received about 5 inches of rain yesterday. Public transport stopped. Thousands of commuters were stranded in their offices overnight. The airport was closed, and schools did not open today. Bermuda-based Axis Capital said earlier today that Novae has approved the terms of the acquisition offer, which will form a global specialty reinsurer with gross written premiums in excess of $6 billion US. Novae agreed to accept Axis's revised cash offer, which came in at about £468 million. No surprise there. Hyundai Motor Company said earlier today that it has resumed production at its plants in China, where the car maker has been working to resolve a dispute with a parts supplier that led to a complete production shutdown. The details are a little murky, but apparently what happened is that Hyundai was having difficulty paying a local supplier of fuel tanks. That supplier promptly cut off deliveries of fuel tanks, which brought production at 4 plants being operated by Hyundai in China to a complete stop. The supplier has resumed providing the fuel tanks as of earlier today, and discussions are underway as for payment purposes. There is some report that maybe this has been affected by Beijing's complaining about South Korea accepting the U.S. THAAD missile defense system, although it does seem to be a straight commercial dispute. Rome has been laboring under a severe drought for many months now, and now that the summer holidays are over and Romans are returning to the city and business and schools are gearing up again, the drought, which has seen rainfall reduced by 70% over the last 3 years, means that the local water company has cut water pressure dramatically at nighttime. Some apartment buildings are not being provided with water. Other buildings are being provided with significantly reduced water levels during the evening. Fountains in the Vatican and in Rome have all been turned off. In Bermuda, you can sometimes be excused for not realizing that you're on an island if you're a visitor. But when you talk with people who live on the island, they usually know the names of the two container ships that supply fresh food to the island. One container ship is the Oleander. The other container ship is operated by the Bermuda Container Line, and the name of that ship is the Warwick. Both ships bring fresh food, products, vegetables, and fruit to Bermuda. Well, the Oleander has been delayed in New Jersey because of a parts problem, and as a result, supermarkets in Bermuda are running out of fresh produce and fresh poultry. This is happening at a particularly bad time because the holiday weekend is looming and schools are reconvening. Customers can expect to have very limited produce and very limited poultry. So the penalties of living on an island, as idyllic as it is. That's the news for today. If we have any breaking news, we'll come back and tell you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.